In the next 10 seconds, I'll change your mind about SlateDigital.
Watch me take control.
And in this video, I want to show you the new module that SlateDigital added to Virtual Mix Rack. And it's this fancy yellow thing that you see on screen right now. You're going to be able to recognize it right away in the sea of plugins that SlateDigital included in the Virtual Mix Rack. So when you see a yellow thing, that's going to be the Transient Shaper. You have the Transient, which you have a 0 position on the middle, which means that nothing is happening at that moment. And then if you go clockwise to the right, you're going to get more of those transients. And if you go to the left, you're going to get less of the transients. And right underneath it is a warmth bottom. It's just an independent control for warmth, for saturation, pretty much on the transients. The bar that you see here dividing pretty much this section on top and the one on the bottom obviously is a filtering section. Completely to the left is off, and starting from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, you get the full spectrum there. So it's pretty much a filtering section for focusing the sound of the transients. The sustain section is the one beneath it. 0 position, nothing happening. To the left, less sustain. To the right, more sustain. And also there's a focus bar to manipulate where do you want that sustain to happen. There's a stereo link here, and there's timing also for the transients, which is super useful. The listen bottom, it's absolutely amazing. You get by default the out, which is the output signal, but if you click on it, you're gonna get the transient, then in the middle position, the sustain, so you can listen exactly at the sustain, how it's working. In the middle, underneath, there's a safety clip. That safety clip means that if you activate that, that's not gonna do clipping in the digital world, meaning that you're safe on that side. You're not gonna cause distortion no matter how hard you push this Transient Shaper. I have it off because I usually use conservative levels. So with this stuff, you need to be careful and need to always play safe with your levels from the beginning so you don't have any issues whatsoever with it. On the left, the makeup gain, and there's a mix knob. Absolutely fantastic that they included that, because sometimes you just want a little bit. You don't want the full Transient Shaper power. You want a mix of the signal, and that's what I'm doing here. And of course, presets to go with it. You have a few presets here that you can check out. Now let's talk about a big subject, the low end. The low end is insane. I don't know how many people ask me about the low end as well, how to get the kick and bass right, especially when it's kick and 808. People make so many mistakes on that side. They don't know the 808 overpowers the kick. The kick is clashing with the 808. I'm going to show you the power of a Transient Shaper. On this case, I'm not using anything besides a Transient Shaper to do what I'm about to do, because this is absolutely insane and you're gonna freak out. This actually blew my mind when I was trying this. So what I have for kick and the snare is this module right here, Virtual Mix Rack, and I have another Virtual Mix Rack on my 808. And let me play this for you really quick, before and after the kick and snare alone. But Orlando, you're missing that low end, that sub on the kick. Yes, exactly. That's exactly the point. Now, let me show you the 808. Now on the 808, I'm using Hollywood, the virtual tube collection there to give it a more saturated sound to that 808. I'm doing completely the opposite. I'm not getting punch out of the 808 because what I want to accomplish with the 808 exactly is having more sustain and taking a little bit more of the transient, pretty much that punchy thing at the beginning. I want that tamed a little bit because I plan to have a little bit of space for the kick. So that's what I'm doing with this Transient Shaper. What you can see here in comparison is that with the kick, I have full on transient to the right. I'm doing a lot of punch with that, and I'm removing a little bit of the sustain, and I get a mix of that. And on the 808, I'm doing the opposite. I'm taking away the transients and I'm giving a little bit of sustain in that case. And you can see here the transients I'm removing pretty much are going to be in this area between 60 something and 192. I'm going to mute the Transient Shaper and then I'm going to activate it. So before, kick and snare and 808 sounded like this. As you can see, there's a massive difference in there just by using a Transient Shaper. There's more punch, there's more power, nothing is getting lost. If you take this and apply it to your music, I can guarantee you your beats are gonna sound 10 times better. Now, other things that I'm using here, I'm using storage filter for the brass. I'm using another storage filter for the stringed synth. And what I'm using on the stereo out is a virtual mix rack, Infinity EQ, virtual tape machine. This is magic right here. I'm adding a little bit of fresh air and I'm using Moti T. And I'm finishing up with the FGX2. Let's do a quick before and after. Do I need to say more? Again, I'm not trying to sell you SlateDigital by any means. They're not paying me for this video, but I highly recommend it because they have everything. And remember, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any other video from us. And until next one, guys, don't stress, do your best, be blessed, forget the rest. See you around.